A while back, I was streaming old school Runescript with one of my friends. While we were training mining, we started talking about language, specifically why the alphabet is in the order that it is. And now that you mentioned it, I kinda have to put on sea shanty too. Why is S so far down in the alphabet?
I don't know. That's actually a really interesting question. Why is the alphabet in the
order that the alphabet is?
Yeah. Why actually? Why is A first? What's so special about A that made it? A is from alpha from Greek, and I think alpha, isn't it?
Might
but
be.
Why did Greeks then put it first?
And while I was preparing for that week's D&D session, which was very dwarf related, I was reminded of this conversation. And so my mind started to wonder, how does the Dwarven alphabet work? Something I hadn't really thought about before, but now I was curious. And so I started reading, and now we're here. So sit back, grab a snack, some good ale, and let's learn some Dethek. Now in D&D, Dwarvish is a very old and quite well recorded language. This is because it's written mostly on sturdy stone. So as long as these stones are preserved well, Dwarven texts could be stored for a very long time. Dwarves would often write on flat stones, which they would call rune stones. The text on these rune stones are written in a circular motion, either as a ring around the stone itself, or spiraling around a mark on the center of the stone. This mark could be one of the writer's clan, or a personal rune to the specific writer. Rune stones could also be made to tell of an event, or as somebody's tombstone. In this case, they would have a picture etched in the center of the runestone, with text surrounding the picture. They even have runes that are specific symbols that help inform the reader of dangers ahead, like a warning sign. These were also depicted on runestones. And lastly, you could also have lists and records of events on runestones, which is what they use to track their history. On a personal side note, I find it quite interesting how this system of writing a runestone mirrors how Vikings would write runes in real life, where they would also carve text on a usually round stone, and oftentimes would have depictions in the middle if it was a runestone that was depicting a certain event, like somebody getting married, or a battle, or a very scary sea monster thingy, whatever that is. But let's get into what this whole video was actually about. The alphabet. So, the thing I set out to learn was how the Dwarvish alphabet worked. So here's what I learned so far. The alphabet is called Dethek script. It consists of 24 characters, or rather runes, that look like this. Note that the rune for W, X, and C are the same, all covered by one rune. So since all three letters share the same rune, one would assume that Y is the final letter of the Dethek alphabet, as W, X, and Z are already represented by this rune. Another fun thing I learned during this adventure is that there are no punctuation marks, like a period. So they finish a sentence in Dethek by making a big line at the end, like so. There's still spacing and capitalization though. To capitalize a rune, you just have to put a horizontal line over it. That's it. That's all you have to do to make it a capitalized rune. Just a little line. That's all you need. Dwarves also have certain runes for creatures. Presumably this is done to make communication through runes a lot easier, by having one rune to symbolize men, halflings, and gnomes of their species, or this fun arrow one that's specifically for dragons, so they also use them to denote creatures, not just humanoids. And there we have it. My question about Dwarven linguistics has finally been answered. I hope you found this knowledge of the Dwarven language and alphabet as interesting as I did, or you were at least entertained by this video. feel free to talk about runes or other cool D&D things in the comments below, and I will try to answer questions if you have any. That's all for now. Goodbye.